Well, I do believe that addiction and mental illness are causes of homelessness. When they don't have community, when they don't have friends, when they don't have relationships, and they find themselves addicted or mentally ill or both, who do they fall back on? And what happens usually is they end up either on the streets or in a shelter or couch hopping somewhere, but not having any real relationships who can help them get better.
I love you too, I miss you.
Miss you more.
I love you too, I miss you, you more. On the cold streets I wander all alone, with the chilling wind, the only can I've ever known. In this world unrecognizable, so unknown, searching for solace, but finding no home. Family of wind, sing me your truth, whispered lullabies to ease what I've been through. In this desolate world where dreams are few, hold me close, let your embrace break through. Betrayed by a world only thinks of itself. I'm so tired of believing in things you can't buy off the shelf. I was not that little girl who dreamed of addictions or the pain that I have known. Left me before I could ever call it my own. Family of wind, sing me your truth, whisper lullabies to ease what I've been through. In this desolate world where dreams are few, hold me close, let your embrace break through. Oh, this heartache cuts deep, a wound that never will heal, but I'll rise above the ashes, find another way to feel. In the darkest nights, I search for my salvation's dying light. Each heartache tries to silence the voice inside of me, but there are others who are singing, and beside them I will scream together in grateful songs of victory. Love you too, I miss you more.
Hey y'all. So I messed myself up this time. Can you guys hear me? Pull up chat. We've got all the patient ones, as always. I'm sorry, you guys. Uh, um, this time I actually just had on the YouTube and didn't have it muted, and so I thought that it recorded that I messed up on recording it. One of these days, everything's going to be like good. Till then, we're just going to keep trying. Seventh son knows me well. He says she'll be here in a minute. Right. Make it 5. We got Nick and Sweet Tea. Hello, hello. The Bud Files. Hey, you. Barbie. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I am so glad to see you guys. Janet. Yay. Tiff. You guys are awesome. Well, this is going to be a really, really short one. I'm bummed about. There's Crystal Phoenix. Hello, love. I'm really bummed about how the audio and everything turned out on this. I've been working on it for a minute and it didn't work out the way I wanted. So I'm going to re-release it on its own once I have all the little things taken out of it. Did y'all hear the like it was a staticky noise? Very irritating. For reals, where is your wrench? Let's just fix that real quick. Ta-da! There we go. I think that's everybody in it. Eventually, I'm going to have to stop doing that. But you guys, how am I going to choose? You guys are all so awesome. Yeah, Crystal Phoenix, if you would put a link up to that, Crystal, or if you wanted to even, no, why don't I? She is a very inspiring woman. She was on Surviving Together today, and she was very brave, and I'm proud to call her my friend. I sure did. Test it out, Barbie. Test it out. Whack-a-troll, right? I don't think that we are ever going to have to worry about that. Any link you want to throw up, babe? Honestly. I started to say the live from today, but then I'm like, well, we don't necessarily want to share that because that is so personal of a story. And so I'm like, why do I want to say that? How do you do moderating? Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't really tell you anything on that page anyways. And we're going to be doing Haley or Indigo. Y'all, I am so not here right now. Breathe, Misha. Woosah. It's like when one thing, it's the domino effect. When one thing starts rolling real just too fast for you, trying to catch it, forget about it. But really, truly, Indigo is going to be working. We're going to be doing a mod school soon. And yes, I think 7 would definitely volunteer for that. Right? 7th, I can talk for you on that one, right? And I mean, really, truly, there's not much that on my lives, anyways, for now, the biggest thing is just sharing links. Because if there are any trolls, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be somebody in that could do it. And if not, I mean, it's going to be very rare if all. I don't see that happening. Famous last words, but I don't. You're not in timeout. You're never in timeout for long. Just every now and then. Lunch lady, oh my goodness. Y'all, this woman is one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. And I'm like way on delay, aren't I? Because I'm on Restream reading chat instead of or YouTube reading chat instead of Restream. It gets so confusing. That is Lunch Ladies link. If you guys could all do me a favor and go over and sub. She is awesome. And she is all heart. And she is into music as well. Just a little FYI. We can see you. 7th, it's okay. That's awesome. I love you too muchly. And you get a taco. And you get a taco. You get a wrench. No, I'm going to make it pretty short tonight. I thought I had this up, and with whatever is going on with my brain, I'm losing files. I'm losing edits. And so if I am not working straight without any interruptions in my life, let's face it, I have interruptions. And so I lose things and I never get them in the right order. And so it's just going to be, even though I want to put out something really, really good, it's going to be lacking usually. And I just have to accept that. I'm really working on accepting that more than I ever have before, because before I could still possibly make things happen. And you get a taco. But for now, it's just do what we can, where we can, when we can, right? So, I just kind of want to throw some statistics out there because it is cold right now. And I tell myself all the time how tired I am and how much I'm just sick of winter. I'm tired of being cold. But I am in comfy clothes, in a house with walls, with heat, with fur babes. I have running water. I have a refrigerator, again, because ours broke, but we got a new one. I have all the amenities. Could you imagine? Could you just imagine being out on the streets? And I'm just going to show it again. Let's see if it'll let me mute it. Because that audio is horrible. Let's see. Could you imagine being out there on not such a sunny day when it is 19 degrees Fahrenheit? We go outside now, we can come right back in. And like what that guy said, I am going to play the audio.
Well, I do believe that addiction and mental illness are causes of homelessness. When they don't have community, when they don't have friends, when they don't have relationships, and they find themselves addicted or mentally ill or both, who do they fall back on? And what happens usually is they end up either on the streets or in a shelter or couch hopping somewhere, but not having any real relationships who can help them get better.
I love you too. I miss
Get some rest, Crystal.
Miss you more.
That right there, that's Chris's voice. And that was a surprise by the generator because I wasn't expecting that at all. It was a beautiful surprise. And then there's some parts in there where she's actually really singing very pretty, and it's got Christina's voice in there too. And so it's really just a special thing. So I want to get this video the right way, but I just kept running out of time. It's okay. I'll get there. The biggest thing is I just want to show that even though things are rough in just about everybody's life, there are things that we can do. Even just smiling at somebody, even just looking them on the eyes without looking at them with pity or disgust. Kazi, I love you. There's, if you're going to Walmart or the dollar store or somewhere and you have a couple of extra dollars, get some foot warmers. Those hand warmers things? I'll show you. These things, I use them here at the house. I don't know what's going to do it like that. Man, I used to be so good at this. Really, really did. Anyways, I'll just do it like this. Yes, I will. These things right here, you take them and you shake them up real good, and then you throw them in between a pair of socks. Makes all the difference in the world. I remember once whenever Bradley and I were homeless and it was really cold and we had a sleeping bag. It is the tech changing. It's a little bit me too, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit me. But no, we had a sleeping bag and I had my laptop and we turned it on and put it between us. That generated a lot of heat. It's so dehumanizing being on the streets. It is. You almost have to turn animalistic in some ways because it's like the law of the jungle kind of world out there. And you've got people that you don't know what they're going to do. And you've got a tent, maybe, if you're lucky, in between you and the elements. And most people, there is this stigma against the people that are homeless that they are drug addicts or they're, all these different things. And sure, it's true to an extent. But it's also, they had nowhere to go. I just recently realized this about myself and gave myself the validation of it. I was born an orphan. At 17, I was turned an orphan again, basically, because my daddy left after my mama died. And I had nobody, no family, no nothing. And then I get straight into an abusive relationship. I love you too, Nick. And it's just been nonstop. I've not had support. I've not had anything besides God, of course, and me pretty much for 49 years. It's a whole different ballgame. And there's so many people out there that are like that. There is, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble or not for it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Let's see. This is the best documentary. Let's see if I can find it even. I'd saved it. Dang it. We need to start doing it to where we have some producers working with each other. Like I volunteer to be a producer and then somebody volunteers to be a producer. And because I'm telling you, that would help so much. But this stuff right here, this is what bothers me because I just watch stuff and it's not showing up in my history. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy upon conspiracy. It's showing a total different watch history. This is showing me like from forever ago. It just doesn't make sense. You hear Brew? He's comfy. Well, crap.
but the homelessness is not helping.
Those people don't know you, so, who are they to judge? The same thing could happen to them.
Yeah.
And maybe it should. Just to let them know what it's like to be on the other end of it.
What people will look at is the moment of the person on the street without a home, without thinking that perhaps the problem went much further back before then.
Everybody on the street, as we know, has their problems. Different people have different problems. Some it's emotional, some it's psychological, but the majority that you meet tend to be either alcohol or drugs.
When I started having my breakdown in Clacton, I started using crack cocaine. I wasn't on heroin at the time. When I moved to Hemel, I tried to, because I moved from Clacton to Hemel to try and, clean myself and get back on track. I thought if I get away from everything that was happening, from the baby mothers and so forth, that I'd be able to sort myself out. But then my granddad died about a week after I moved to Hemel. So I deteriorated even worse. And I think for me, that was the last nail for me that got hammered. And I hit the lowest I could ever go. And then that's when I started hitting onto heroin as well.
I mean,
that they want to go.
Our city deserves to hold people accountable to bad behavior.
Voters fed up with rising homelessness.
Clear them out.
The push to ship out, arrest, and get homeless people out of sight is gaining alarming support across the U.S.
Criminalizing sleeping in public spaces.
And in the coming months, protections against criminalization may be overturned in the Supreme Court.
Do I protect myself from the elements and risk going to jail, or do I not and risk hypothermia and dying?
So is it cruel and unusual punishment? The Supreme Court will tackle that question.
At the center is a small town in Oregon.
Grants Pass.
Grants Pass.
Grants Pass. Grants Pass.
Invisible People founder Mark Horvath investigates what's really going on in Grants Pass right now.
We get a ticket just for trying to live.
30 citations in a year and a half.
I've been to jail 5 times just this year.
So this park is probably the most controversial.
They hit me with a stick. They wanted to drag them out and beat them.
Families out here sleeping in tents.
Because this ruling will determine whether cities can arrest homeless people across the country.
If that's allowed, many cities will try to run all of the homeless people out of their community.
The stakes can be higher.
We will ban urban camping. Violators of these bans will be arrested. We will then open up large parcels of inexpensive land where the homeless can be relocated.
Rather than addressing the structural inequities causing homelessness, many politicians from both parties and at all levels ignore proven solutions to homelessness, opting instead for a punitive response that will only make homelessness worse and hurt all of us. Criminalization punishes the one group of people who have no power to fix the crisis.
The DPPD had my stuff thrown away, and in one of my totes was my son's urn. My son's forever gone, and I only have a piece of him, an urn necklace that I keep dear to my heart, that's things I can't get back. It makes it really hard to want to keep going on. All I can say to people is, don't forget what it is to be human. Be kind. We're all just trying to survive.
If your issue is that Black Lives Matter, if you care about the experience of LGBTQ people, if you care about people living with disabilities, if you care about the elderly, all of these traditionally marginalized communities are going to be impacted. If those are
Oh my geez. Calgon, take me away. So yeah, they passed the law. The Supreme Court in July of 2024. And in Shawnee, Oklahoma, the suburb that I live right next door to, I mean, I've grown up around there, it is illegal. You have people that have everything gone wrong in their lives. Everything. They can't fill out applications and get jobs because they never know where they're going to be from one day to the next. They can't get water and clean themselves. Can y'all can hear me now though, right? That was just my bad on not hitting the button after the video. They're doing it to where that they're putting benches up now that have bars in them to where you can't even lie down on the bench. Now, I understand that all of this is not pretty to look at. But you can't just put your head in the sand and say it doesn't exist. And it's not 100% any homeless person, and I will put this on anybody, challenge me on it. It is not 100% any person that is homeless' fault. There are things that have gone wrong, and they're, really, truly, I mean, the statistics have been shown that nearly 40% of all Americans are one paycheck away from the streets. Right now, the way the prices are with everything, the way that rent is, I mean, my God, it's $7 for a block of cheese. We think it's something that's going to happen to somebody else. I never in a million years would have thought it would have happened to me, even whenever I was going through the struggles that I did. And yet it did like 3 times. 3 times. It did to my children. Adrian, hello. Crumel, oh my gosh. Kim, you guys do me a favor and throw some links up if you would. It does, Causey. It makes it very hard. There's so many things that are just, you look at somebody that's homeless and you think, well, they're just lazy or they've just got a drug problem. The drug problem, y'all, just going to throw it out there. You cannot live on the streets and do everything that needs to be done. Something that makes it easier is that. And I know that sounds horrible, and I know that that is giving an excuse that doesn't need to be there. But go out and live on those streets and tell me that you want to be able to do anything to build yourself up. It takes a very strong person to not give up. Especially whenever they do call home and they get told, you can do better. Why don't you just fix this? Why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do... It is so much different when you are living it. And really, really, truly, when you've got the whole world against you, when you go to McDonald's and they're doing game night, everybody else is playing and they're all getting involved, but you're not allowed to. There's something wrong with this world when we kick and beat down on those that are already struggling. There's a difference between enabling and having a human heart. And if we don't fight for humanity now, I'm telling you, we're losing it fast. We have got to show our fellow humans what it's like to love regardless. And I promise you that if you go and actually talk to somebody, I'm not saying do it because there are dangerous people out there. I'm not even going to say that they're not. But if you're ever able to have a conversation with somebody that's homeless, they're different. They've seen the world through different eyes. They know how to appreciate the little things. I remember I used to get my nails done, my eyelashes done, my hair did, tan, all the nice designer clothes. And God, I had a shoe fetish. When you're cleaning the rice and you're washing it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times just to make sure there's no bugs. Because you can't lose that rice because that's all you got. You see things different. And these people need our help. Off my rant. I'm going to read some comments. If I can find my way there. I'll tell you what, y'all. Mo, seriously, come back to Restream-ish. Well, I'm way behind. Y'all, I need somebody to help me with this because, yeah, I'm way behind. Smile or eye contact can mean so much to anyone. And that is it right there, Lynch Lady. Even our children. I kneel down to each student to look them in the eye so as to not tower over them. A simple act of kindness can mean a lot, and that is so beautiful. You are so right. So right. Barbie. How many free clothes, how many of us have closets that are filled? I do. I've got bags filled that I still need to take. When you have nothing. When you have nothing and you're out in that cold. Thank you for that, Barbie. It's just so cold, y'all. I get so cold. And we've lost somebody already this year in Houston to the extreme weather. Do you know? It's estimated, because you can't get a correct count, between 17 and 40,000 people a year. 17 and 40,000. 17,000 to 40,000 people who are homeless die. Now, of course, there's different factors that contribute. There's drug overdose. There's violence, like I lost my Christina with. Traffic accidents, because whenever you're walking down the road, you can, not always be seen. Medical conditions that aren't treated, that are exacerbated by lack of housing, because you have little access to any kind of flowing water, which, if you just have regular water, it's got to be running. You can't just use stagnant water. And you would be surprised at how hard it is to find a place to clean yourself. The time it took to, and this is something I had written up, the time that it took to listen to this, somebody will lose their home, their sense of safety, and more than likely even their hope. Just in the time it takes to listen to the song. It's unacceptable. This is not coming from a place of entitlement. It is not. This is not coming from a place like you owe me, because you don't. This is coming from a place compassion, empathy, understanding, pain, sadness, guilt, shame, embarrassment, love, anger. I could keep going. I could keep going. It's because we are human and we should be able to understand and know that all it takes is just a little bit to be able to do something big. That's a good point too, Nick. There was, whenever I worked, when I was still back doing movie galleries, there was a guy that kept doing it. He was panhandling right in front of my store. And so at lunchtime, I left and I went and got something from McDonald's, and I got him something too. And I noticed that somebody else had him in the car and was taking him to McDonald's. And so that was 2 different meals. And at this time, I didn't know, but it still was wrong in my eyes. As soon as he was finished, he ends up going to his truck, and it was a brand new truck. There's people like that. And because of people like that, it makes it really hard to want to do something for somebody else. We can't let the bad from other people. That's how good people are turned bad. I'm on a rant. I'm on such a rant. I'm sorry. And it is terrifying, Kazi. It's so scary. Yeah. We lived in it was a suburban, but we did for quite a while, and just finding a place that you can park at night. Just finding a place to park at night that you're not going to get messed with, given a hard time by the police, by the employees, by, anybody. Where do you go? If you cannot be homeless, what do you do? What is the next step? Tiff, we have had some difficult topics. We really, really have. But I think really and truly we need to start digging into them, and that way we can have some awareness and some change and some understanding. I think this is a year for change. I feel it in my bones that this is a year for change. I've already seen miracles happen recently, and it's just a coming together of people. I know you guys have all saved me many times over. That right there. It's confusing going back and forth between Restream and YouTube, I'm telling you. So I wanted to pin that, but I can't. I think that every single elected official should live at least a week homeless. Without the television crews to, be behind the scenes and whatever. To literally be out just like a homeless person would have to be on the streets. They've lost everything. They have nobody to call. Dirty. Nothing to wear but rags. And go out and try to make it. What? Is this real? Surely to God not. Surely to God not. If this is the case, why are people still listening to him? I'm going to check into that. Thanks, Mo. Oh, that makes me angry. But this, yeah. And I have a lot of proof on that. One of these days I'm going to show it. Not today, because I'm not going to search for it, because guess what? I'm so tired of getting lost in my files. I'm sorry for the ugh days, y'all. There are cities now.
Sorry. Sorry.
There are cities
So
now
sorry.
that have abolished homelessness. They are doing the tiny house program, which, like I said in the video, it sounds like we need a village. Just a hand up, not a hand out. And I guarantee you that by the time you looked at how much money you were saving on the homeless population, by the cleaning up, by the infections, by the medical issues, by the, can't think of the word, y'all, help me, contagions. Because, not gonna lie, it's there, it's prevalent because of the not having access to running water. If they would tally up all of that, all the unnecessary funds that they are spending, and how much it would cost to get a tiny home built, problems are so much better if you can solve them when you're housed. You can't do much when you're not. Unless you have family to pull you out when you're homeless, your chances are very slim. Very slim. It's illegal to live homeless in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And people were griping a couple years ago about the Christmas parade because there's so many homeless. It's going to make the Christmas parade look awful, and it's just going to be miserable. And we just boo-hoo. And that's a very cold, hard stance, especially for me. That's a very cold, hard stance, but boo-hoo. I'm sorry that their living is going to cause you problems for an hour. And that's just, I'm wrong there. I know I am, and I'm sorry. But I'm angry. I believe in better. I believe people are better. And we're going to have nothing but a world of Wally people because of it. But you're so right. I don't know. Yeah. And a lot of times, when I was at my best, doing my best everything, I still was treated as if, or talked down to, or it was assumed that I was doing stuff that really, truly, I was having my mental breakdown, whatever the crap this is, had already started. And that's part of what threw me, because people were just thinking that that's what it was. It sucks whenever you are doing everything right and people are still accusing you. Yeah. Rest in peace. It's maddening. It is maddening. Is there
a way to pin it in the chat?
You have to have money to get sometimes uniforms. And like with my daughter, she has to have money to pay for her bags ahead of time. And she has to have all these different things. But right now, she's got court costs. And by the time she's through with her court costs, she's got her car payment, and then that's it. And having to live going out of town, you've got to pay for your meals. You just don't know until you know. I need to start griping. I need to stop griping. If you knew what to do, the first step, you already know what to do on that. Education. Education is the very first step on everything. Seeing what can be done in your community, what is already being done, see what the numbers are. See what it's like in the area that the people are homeless and how bad it is. If you have a little bit of extra time, go to the shelters. If there's one, because the shelter that we went to whenever the girls were young, they shut down last year, which is heartbreaking. They are raising the prices on everything. They are shutting down the shelters in all the places that are supposed to help. Can you imagine what it would be like to have nowhere, nothing? What do you do? Because you don't just end it all. You want to keep fighting. You want to keep believing for that light at the end of the tunnel. What do you do? It's a crap feeling. There's no throwaway people, but it sure does look like the world is deeming that. You can get hand warmers. You can make up a little bundle of things, that canned food is not really a good thing because it's not always easy to open a can. But I will tell you, if there's anybody that is struggling with this, if you rub that can on the concrete on a curb, and if you rub it, and get that friction, and you rub it all the way around the entire edge of it, it'll pop it off. Just a little tip. But something that they can eat and it will be done that meal, because you can't just put it in a refrigerator. So and you can't really cook very easily either. And so just think in that sort of a mind range, because it needs to be something that's feasible, something that they can carry with them if they do have to take it and put it in their bags, something that's not going to get messed up, like squished or, animals, a lot of times they have their companions with them. So possibly a little bit of dog food, a little bit of cat food. Things that you wouldn't normally think of can change a person's life out there, literally. Just a different mindset, a different looking at people. Because most of the people, I'm going to reiterate it, they are not their circumstances. They are somebody's daughter. They are somebody's son. That's the first few steps. Yeah. I didn't see the first part of that, I don't think. Oh, trash. Okay. There's so many things. There's so many things, with homeless. I always wanted to have, and this is God's sense of humor, I always wanted to have a homeless shelter. Growing up, I wanted to have one. And I always thought, I would start out with, because there's a lot of people that are not shown as children how to clean. They're not shown as children how to cook. They're not shown how to do their bills. So start from the basics and just show them that. Show them how to do these little things, so when they do get their own place, they know better, they're better equipped. How to understand what credit is, how to utilize the credit, how to start savings, how to even open a bank account. Most people know how to do that because they're shown. Can you imagine not being shown that stuff? And then you feel like you're stupid, so you don't want to ask because people look at you like you're stupid, so you don't want to ask, you know? Yeah. So you do that too. You got the lack of sleep. And even if you can sleep, you don't know who's going to take advantage of your vulnerable position. I got told whenever I went to a rehab once, I finally had just decided it was it. I was done. I was going. And I went and they told me because it had not been 72 hours that I'd been clean, I couldn't stay. I did for at least another good year after the fact. Because if you make that decision and then the world just still, even once you've made the decision that everybody says you should do, it's so simple sounding. But there's just so much going against you. You cannot think normal. It's almost an impossible situation. And thank God people are able to get out of it. But it takes a lot. And so just instead of throwing accusations, instead of throwing blame and judgment, start changing it up and start looking at what could I change for me personally? What could I change? Just change your mindsets that it's not all about whose fault it is. It's not all about who's doing this or who's doing that. What can we do to look forward instead of back? What can we do to stop staying stagnant in our yuck? Right, Adrian? Everything. You appreciate so much more. I do not know. I'll hand the phone to Alice and I'll have her check.
What? What am I doing?
We are the village. And I think I just needed a good rant. I needed a good rant time. Oh, hey. Y'all, I was helping Keela earlier and all of a sudden, and that was part of it too, I was working on this video and my mouse stopped working. That sucked so hard because I couldn't do anything, even though I've got 2 computer systems right here and I couldn't do anything because I didn't even think. Bradley asked me, he was like, because I've looked everywhere. I needed a triple or double A battery and I have like 20 of the triples, but not a 1 of the doubles. And so Bradley was like, you wouldn't just use my mouse? And I'm like, well, I've got a Yep, I'm that special. I would love it. I would love it, love it, love it. I would love to do an RV village. I would love to do a tiny home village. The kind that you put them on the trailers. And so that way when you are ready to go, you can just drive on out, you know? I would love it.
Is she talking about Brutus snoring being the tiny vacuum?
Hold on a second, Allison. Are you talking about the fur babe in the background? Oh, that would be my Brutus. And it has been very successful. In fact, there was a documentary that I was watching yesterday. This lady, she lived in the woods and she got sick and she had to worry about the infection and she had surgery and then ended up having to go back because she had complications. The only soul in the entire world that she had companion wise was her fur babe. And she ended up, because there was nobody to watch Fur Babe. Fur Babe couldn't go to the hospital. And so she ended up losing. They gave her a tiny home, and she's able to get better. And once she gets healed up, the family's going to let her have her Fur Babe back, which is beautiful. Hey, Izzy, it's good to see you. You guys, my banner was designed by none other than our beautiful Izzy Ska. Very talented. You really should go just chill with her. She's got some great music that she's done, some good videos. I mean, it's chill and a good vibe over there. If somebody would do me a fave and throw up a link, I would be greatly appreciative. Echo! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello. Medicine Hat, Alberta actually solved the homeless issue by providing housing for all homeless people. I don't know how they did it, but they did. You know, there are so many empty buildings. There are so many empty hotels. A lot of businesses are just closing down right now. And we've got all those buildings that are going to end up dilapidated because nobody's going to be taking care of them. Why not get something in place, some sort of starting from beginning, starting from basics, and train them how to clean, how to cook, how to take care of themselves. That's a lot of the problem right there. It's just not knowing how to do anything. Wally, for reals, Tiff, I'm telling you, and it's scary. I mean, what we are looking at right now is how many of us are as active physically as we used to be. The food, the air, the everything, the quality of everything is going to crap. How much easier of a society to not have to defend yourself against if it is uneducated, if they have the attention span of a canary, if they are out of shape and overweight and unhealthy. Just a little, throw that out there. Yeah. Kim says, yay, hat. For reals, though, that's impressive. And it's something to consider because it is possible. My God, to be able to have something to cover your head and to shield you from the elements. The peace that you would have compared to on the streets. You could think again. The noise would be gone. After a little bit. Not immediately, but after a little bit, the noise would be gone. And Nick, I know that. It's scary as heck. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the only real chance that you get at rehab if you don't have insurance, think about this one, is if you get arrested and they give you the choice of rehab or jail. And so you go to rehab, but you're being basically forced to do it. And if you are an addict of any kind, you might realize that if you're being forced to do something, you're not going to be as gung-ho about it. It's all in how we put it together. It's all in how we present it. It's all in getting our leaders to listen. Making a difference. Because I'm telling you guys, it's going to, the homeless, gosh, what did it, just in like the last 3 years, I'm going to have to Google it. I'm going to Google. It is, as of January 2024, more than 770,000. Record high homeless counts. And I'm just scrolling through here. I'm not actually, I'm not I'm just scrolling. It has increased so much. 12% jump. It's horrible. It's going to get worse. Imagine how easily it has gotten to be for somebody to get homeless in the past, and now with prices going so sky high, it's not going to be long before somebody you know. I'm so confused. There's so many screens. And you can. It doesn't take near the materials. And, I mean, get people that are going to be living there if they are equipped, because there's a lot of us out there that are pretty good in construction. If they've got those capabilities, let them be utilized in that way. Like the Housing for Humanity and all of those places. It works. And that's a problem there too. Wow, C4. Hey, you. Wow. It's good to see you. That's awesome. It's great to see you. Not in my backyard. That's right, because it sure doesn't look good and it's going to bring down the property value. Oh my gosh. Just get rid of them. Where are you going to get rid of them to? Where are you going to get rid of them? That's what I would like to know. What are their solutions if they want to get rid of them? Where do you want to take them? What do you expect them to do? And when it is you or your children that they're taking, is it going to be different? Are you going to want to make a change then? Yep. Thank you. I think we should all have a chance to just actually get out there and vent. I had a thing. I was working on it for a long time and I kind of quit for a little bit. But I've got it all set up besides just, I need to do that. I'm just going to stop talking about it and just do it. So remember that. I think this is the year that we're going to make a lot of changes. We're starting to be able to come together and to realize that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not know what to do to help. And it's okay to educate ourselves. And it feels so much better working together. That's one of the things the village is built upon.
Hey, she sent you 5, but she said it only allowed her to send 5. I don't know why. I accidentally put an E on the first time, and she sent it to somebody else on accident. Can you hear me?
Hold on just a second, you guys. Oh, no, I hope not. Mo, you didn't have to send anything. But, oh my gosh, it didn't come through. The one did, but not the first one. Holy crap.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Anything to do with me, rule of thumb. There's going to be something. I'm so sorry, Mo. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And that's it. Not thinking it's not your problem, because it eventually will become everybody's problem. And, the things that they're doing, the drugs that are coming out now, there's not any real drugs. And so every drug that we used to do back in the day, whenever we can think now, well, I know what that was like. And, it's not at all the same. And that stuff is God, I could just even imagine anything that would make you do the things that these people are having to go through. I can't imagine them doing that by choice because they want to. It has been changed. It has been implemented in ways that it's just so amazing for anybody to get away from it. It sucks that it started, but everything leads back to trauma. If we could learn how to work on our trauma effectively and healthfully. And like earlier today in Mental Health Matters, if somebody would do me a favor and throw that link up, she is doing dysregulation. It's a 10-part series. And it's helping a lot. And it's so easy to implement. It is so helpful. It's not those things that, you have all these different factors that you have to do ahead of time to make it work. It's just a couple of things that you have to do that anybody, and I mean anybody, should be able to do. And it makes a difference immediately. And I think that's a lot of it, is just learning how to, and stopping the generational trauma of not knowing how to handle our trauma. Yeah, and that's a good thing. Very good thing. I'm always foggy. Kim, thank you for stopping in. I know I have not been to live streams like I need to with everybody. I got way behind, and I just need to catch myself back up. I got myself a little bit tired there for quite a while. I love you too. Rest well. And you have 2 lives coming up Tuesday and Thursday that are very interesting and intriguing, because it's one of them is adoption and one of them is DID.
She said, how long have you been homeless?
We're not homeless. We're not homeless now. No. I'm going to have to speed up on my messages because we are not homeless. Please understand that. No, we are not. We have been many, many times. I am fighting for those that are homeless. I'm trying to get awareness. I'm so sorry if I made it look like that. My daughter had been homeless for quite a while, and she was homeless whenever we lost her. And I just want people to understand that the people that are homeless are humans, and they do not have to live like that. We can do things that will make a change, and it's not enabling them. It's not because they are entitled to be able to be given this. Some of us just have not ever had a chance.
Oh, she said had. It was a typo.
Okay. Some people just did not have a chance to be able to become adults and live lives that many of us had the chance to do. And if you don't know what you're doing to begin with, how can you do it correctly? I'm just trying to get a little bit of awareness out there. And the tiny vacuum. I'm just now getting to the tiny vacuum comment. Yeah, that's Brew. That's my fur babe. He's snoring. Yeah, and the voice, that's my daughter. I got my boo butt and I got my brew butt, both of them here. Hey, no, I've got a breathe video, and I'm going to play it for y'all. I'm going to, because I think you guys would like it. And it stars Brutus. Let's see, go here. Nope, videos. And it's not the best. I'm still learning this making video thing, but it helps me. So let's see what you guys think. It works better with headphones.
It's hectic. It's crazy. Life won't stop spinning. You've got to breathe. I want you to just breathe. Close your eyes. Forget the world. Just breathe. No, don't start thinking. Just breathe. Breathe with me. In. Out. In. Out. Remind your body what it feels like to breathe. Relax. Let go. Completely melt to your surroundings, to your surroundings. Give in all that is matter, because none of it matters if you don't breathe. Just breathe. The world doesn't matter for just this moment. Breathe. It's not so hectic that you can't stop and just breathe. Nothing else can get done until you take the time to breathe. Breathe with me. In. Out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All you have to do is breathe. Breathe with me. In. Out. In. Out. Remind your lungs of their only job. It is to breathe. Breathe. Everything else will take care of itself. All you've got to do, you can breathe. Slowly. Breathe. Gratefully. Breathe. The world will turn if you just breathe. All you really have to do is just breathe. Breathe. Breathe, baby. Just breathe. You can breathe.
Just breathe. It had the fur babe in it. I got him so relaxed he was snoring. And I was like, I should take that out. And then I'm like, no, he's breathing. I think that's actually a good stopping point anyways. It got me a little bit more calm. Do you feel any more calm? Hopefully. I just wanted to get across that there are people out there that are struggling really, really hard. And just if you could be a little bit more human today than you were yesterday. And remember that it is a blessing to be alive. And I am so grateful that I get to be alive with you guys now. We're building a village, and in that village, we're going to do things for people that maybe have never had anything done for them. At least not because we love them. And we have to we have to fight by not giving in. We got each other to do it with. I love every one of you. Until next time.